If we take a look to notice, inside our postcard, we have the On Profile click, which is coming from the post list. We'll go to the post list. Here in the post, it's coming from the index. Let's back to our index, and here in our index, we can check, it was already sending there, as we can see above. Set select user ID show modal, with the name we already know what's happening. If we take a look, it is sending here to the modal. Press Ctrl click here user info modal and it will open. Inside the modal, we already see that it is using that user info hook that renders below, use followers and user follows. Let's check these gets here that should yield who's following and whom we're already following. Let's press Ctrl click. Hook will appear here, Ctrl click again, and let's see where it is. At the beginning, it is being configured here checking how many followers it has. Bringing length it is coming from inside get user followers. Let's enter the function, press Ctrl click. We're going to make our API call here. We can do both, as we already have get user followers and get who user follows in. Let's comment on this return of the function that we no longer need. Let's go into our Swagger, Python REST in the doc, for example, search for user follows. Let's see if we have this doc here, user follows user. Came the doc and here we can pass whatever is necessary. You can see that we have a get for user follows ID. And user follows. Okay, let's see if this get or if we can continue from here. Let's press try it. For this checking user and bring everything, let's see if it does. User ID is following. We can see that user ID 3 is following 1, 1 is following 2, 1 is following 3, and 2 is following 3. Let's get the user ID here and see who is following. User 3 is only following user 1. And now we can bring everyone who follows user 3 here. We can see that user 2 follows the user 3. Now this brings everyone who is following. So we already have our two endpoints that we need. Here we have follows user ID, everyone we're following. Let's go back to the code. Let's make our API call here. Opened as always, the try and catch. Const res receives a wait from the API we already have here now. This one is the following. We will be doing template string here. We have to bring our ID user. Let's build it. It will take our user ID and it should return to us again. Return res.data. As here we want all users, we don't pass index 0 because we don't want just one. We really want the array to check how many users are following in the next function. We give the length here, as we were already doing. Let's check the function of who we're following, so it's here. Get user follow. Get who user follows, so I reverse the logic. Let's copy and paste this one here and below, which is who is following, use followers. Excellent. Now who are we following? Let's see. Let's open the doc again. And now it's the opposite. Who are we following? Let's copy our endpoint. I minimized the page and here to save time, we will copy the other function that will be the same thing. Paste it on top and we will just change the endpoint. Let's see if it's correct here. That's right. Also check here in the getAmountOfFollowers function where it will return our length to the user to check how many he is following. It will probably give an error that some information is still missing. We'll be back to the index page and I'm going to click here on the username. An error came but there's no problem, and here I already brought one following and I'm following one too. Now we have to look for information on how many posts we made, in the case of user 1.